Hello and good evening, or morning, or afternoon, or night. I don't know when people watch these. Welcome back to the House in Fata Morgana, a Requiem for Innocence. Oh boy. Last time, we rescued Morgana from the Lord, the first time, and we've taken her back to the brothel where she is currently with Maria, staying with her. Jacopo has freed the slaves and has befriended one of them, Gothic, who is, by all definitions, just a himbo. I love him very much. Now he's going to meet Gratien for a drink at the bar, as promised, and also his other friends. This episode shouldn't have too many triggering things. Mostly just going to be Morgana and Jacopo dealing with some mental health stuff. Nothing too severe yet, and we are going to meet another new character, which I'm very excited about. So if sound and everything is good, then I guess we will proceed. I want to make sure the sound is okay, because I've been switching back and forth between systems on this capture card, and I want to make sure that OBS recognizes the differences, and like, it's a little stupid. I mean, OBS is great. It's just that, like, the sensitivity to a system, like the Switch versus the PS4 or what have you, is a little irritating. I'm also going to adjust my fan, because it is still very hot. Not as hot as it was, though. Okay. Let's get into this, eh? Oops, sorry. I'm gonna try not to bump my mic as much. I'm real bad about that, I'm sorry. This guy's definitely British. I see that, me trusty blade. And then I charged in. Me trusty blade, L.I. Cutting off Bonnier's last escape route. The poor bastard straight up and pissed himself, begging and crying for his life. You were never even in the same room as him, you lying scoundrel. I ate the details, but the spirit what matters. And I had enough spirit in me to bring the Lord to himself to his knees. Forget this worthless twit. I took out 20 guards all by myself. The scar on my back is a trophy, proof of my valiant exploits in I think I'll be yelling to open my wound again. The only thing a scar on your back proves is that you turned tail and ran, you little chicken shit. You tell him. Well, it certainly looks like they're enjoying themselves. Perhaps a little too much, going by how many have seemed to have drunk themselves comatose. Not that I don't understand wanting to celebrate. Oh, at last you graced us with your presence. Where the hell you been? We've been waiting. Word is he made a mad dash for the whorehouse as soon as he got back. I see how it is. You'd rather celebrate with her than us. Must be nice putting prostitutes before your comrades in arms. I'm not putting anyone before anyone. An old friend of mine works there, nothing more. No need to be bashful. You can make up for it by getting your butt over here and drinking with us. You're the star of the show after all. The what? You were the one who infiltrated the Lord's manor. Today wouldn't have been possible without you. You did good work, and everyone here knows it. For the record, I was going to do it myself, but I decided to let you have the honor. I could have rallied the slaves together in half the time it took you. Tell that to the scar on your back, chicken shit. You tell him! I see risking your lives hasn't made you three any less unruly. But I'm glad you all made it out alive, truly. On that note, do we have an idea what the casualty numbers look like? Bunch of wounded, but nobody dead. God fortune was on our side. I have to admit, when I saw the thing, all I could think of was the fucking Skulkin brothers from Greatest Attorney Chronicles. by goal. Raw unmatched skill, you mean? We're the trifecta of terror. The trifecta of twats, more like. The only reason you and your band made it out unscathed is because we slaves were on the front lines. You have any idea how many we lost? Gratien! Hello again. You're looking surprisingly sober. Not drinking, huh? Just finished my first cask, actually. Let me tell you, these guys are damn lightweights. Hardly even put up a fight. So the pile of bodies in the corner is Gratien's doing, then. What on earth is his stomach made of? So, boys, if you really think you're such hot shit, then how about you show me what you're made of? Let's drink. See if you live up to your trifecta of tarts or whatever the hell it was. Thought you were gonna bust out a pirate voice. There's no one who gets a pirate voice, really, who deserves one. We want to take our time drinking, you know. Enjoy ourselves over yonder. Yeah, the wound in my back hurts if I drink too much, besides. You tell him. Godspeed, Jacopo. Wait. Get back here. God damn it. Bunch of pussies. You won't run on me now, will you, kid? I still have things to take care of. I have to find somewhere to get some ointment. I'm looking for a missing butterfly brooch as well. A brooch? You mean this thing? Yes, that! That must be it. The girl says it belongs to her. Could I have it? So I can give it back? I don't know. I am the one who found it. There's plenty more in the loot pile. What do you care about a worthless scrap of metal? I think it looks pretty cute on me, to be honest. I love this guy so much. What a load of bull. Fine, I'll bite. What do you want for it? I'm glad you asked. Beat me in a drinking contest and it's all yours. Excuse me? Beat you? You went through an entire cask. What, we haven't even started and you're already admitting defeat? For the star of the show, you sure are a wuss. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. The revolt never would have happened without me. Soon everyone will know who the real star of today's show was. Yours truly. Fine. If you're so desperate for a playmate, I'm down for your little game. Well, let me tell you, I hold my liquor quite well, thank you very much. I'll wipe that smug off your... Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let the smug grin off your face and shove it in a barrel full of your own vomit. I was too busy looking at how angry he is over this. That's the fucking spirit. That prissy face of yours will be licking the chamber pot when I'm done with you. Hey fellas, Gratien and Jacopo are having a drinking contest. Gratien? Who the hell's that? Do we have a Gratien? Right over there, the big fella. He helped with the revolt. Used to be a gladiator. A gladiator? Those still exist? I'm putting my money on Gratien. Bloody traitor. Jacopo's been with us from the very beginning. I'm betting on him. Looks like we've drawn quite the I can't read today. Looks like we've drawn quite the crowd. You got yourself an impressive little fan club, kid. When you've been in the slums as long as I have, you get to know pretty much everyone. The more to humiliate you in front of. Why did Jacopo's sprite look like that? I don't know. Right then, the rules are simple. Whoever stays conscious longest wins. Though I doubt it'll be much of a contest, the music in the background is really distracting. It's so funny. Yeah, you just keep pretending you have a chance. The truth will hit you soon enough. On the count of 3. 3! What's the matter, kid? You're looking a little sluggish, and this is only glass 4. Look at you. Your eyes are going bloodshot. You're all talk after all. You keep telling yourself that. Hey, booze wench, keep 'em coming. Be respectful. I could do this for hours. More! Fill her up! I was quicker than you that time. Rest in pieces. You're better than you look. But don't forget, I got a full cask on you. You're running with a handicap. I'm not the one who challenged you. You're just making excuses for when I beat your ass. How many does this make? 10? 20? I've lost count. Throwing in the towel, are you? What'd I tell you? Step aside, kid. This is a man's world. Are you even hearing yourself? Shut your stupid prissy face, kid. I never liked you. Not for 1 second. What? We're starting to childish insults now, are we? I was planning to start a little revolt long before you ever showed up. And you came marching in and took all the glory for yourself. Fucking, who do you even think you are? Sorry, fucking with the 2 G's killed me. Where are you now? Well, I'll have you know, I never liked you either. You think that just because you can swing a sword around like a big ape, that makes you better than everyone? What the frick did you just friggin' say about me, you little punk? You wanna go, huh? You wanna go? If you wanna go, take another drink. Isn't that what we're doing this for? Huh? Ugh. Fuck, this is right. Let's begin, wench. Be kind. The world is spinning. That all you got? Your face is as red as a baboon's ass. And you're as pale as a fucking corpse. One more round. I'll crush you. You can try. Excuse me, what? What's your problem? Booze. Where's the booze? Please don't be angry with me, but, we're all out of everything! You what? Then go get more. This ain't the only pub in town. I have! Everyone's out everywhere! They literally drank the city dry. So, it's a draw? How anticlimactic. Seriously. You just fell over! He's just sleeping. God, he may be the rowdiest man I've ever met. Is he going to be okay? That looked like it really hurt! Leave him be. He'll wake up when he needs to piss. Probably. And on that note, I'll be in the latrine. Rest in pieces, Jacopo. That's where all your brain cells went. Maria, it's almost time to open up. Gotcha, I'll be out in a sec. You get some rest, hear me? I gotta run for a bit, but you shouldn't have to worry about anyone coming back here. There's an urn filled with water in the mess hall if you get thirsty. You can't hear a word I'm saying, can you? Well, right. I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions. Welcome, daughter of God. You'll be performing miracles for me now. A man stood before me. There were several young girls in the room. They looked like prostitutes. Some of them might have been boys. The man's clothes were beautiful, His jewelry glimmered in the light. His eyes glimmered too, but with madness, not beauty. Sorry, I just want to see his outfit. That's alright. I like the cape a lot. He was the lord of the land. I had been taken from my home, and now I was kneeling before the Lord.
And if you cooperate, I can guarantee you'll live more than comfortably.
I looked up at the Lord sternly. He was a scary man, but I couldn't let fear stand in my way. I was the daughter of God, his beloved servant on this earth. I had to act according to his will. Miracles are not something to be performed for one single person's benefit.
What?
Miracles are not magic or parlor tricks. They are a precious gift granted to me by my Father in heaven. Using his power for personal gratification is a grave sin. I will do no such thing. I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions.
Sorry, it's the look over for me. He's terrifying, but like that sprite cracks me up every time. Bitch, where'd I ask?
Do away with such selfish desires and dedicate yourself to helping the people. The power you have been given was bestowed upon you by the hand of God. It is not your power. He is merely allowing you to make use of it for a short time. Pride is a sin. Please consider how you conduct yourself.
You're an ignorant, insolent child, aren't you? I bought you. You are my property. You have no right to an opinion.
That is not my opinion. That is the way of the world. As God...
Silence! You're not here to talk. You're here to perform miracles for me and my guests.
The Lord glared angrily down at me. I gulped, biting my lip to keep it from trembling. I steeled myself, fought down every urge to look away. As I have already told you, I will do no such thing. But the Lord would not hear it. With a sickening laugh, he took a step toward me.
What you will or will not do is my decision, not yours.
No! Get your hands off! He grabbed me by the hair and threw me to the hard floor.
It seems you need someone to show you your place, child. You are my property. You are to do as I say. You are not to talk back or criticize. And you are to give everything to me. Your life, your body, your soul, your love. Every last thing.
My love and my soul are for my Father only, for God. I am no man's property.
You can call yourself whatever you want. You still feel pain like everyone else. You still scream. What's a little scratch on the arm anyway? How many times have you cut yourself performing miracles, saint? Surely you're accustomed to the pain by now. Now, for the first taste of your so-called miracle blood. I imagine it must be truly exquisite if what they say about you is to be believed. That your birth brought an end to a terrible drought.
No!
Yes, give unto me your blessing, saint.
Please, I beg of you, don't do this! I'm begging you, please! My blood was meant for the sick, the poor, the suffering. My miracles were meant for those who needed them. Is this another one of your trials for me, Father? People. There are so many people. They're looking at me and laughing.
Well, good morning, daughter of God. I hope you slept well.
What is going on? What are all these people doing here?
As I told you, you're here to perform miracles for me and my guests.
No. I tried to twist away, but I'm so sorry, I cannot read today. A jolt of pain ran up my arms. Looking down, I saw heavy shackles around my wrists. I was sitting atop a white sheet on what looked like an altar, and I was naked. No! Why am I...
Now, surely you, the daughter of God herself, are not ashamed of the body your father gave you, now are you? You are not some lowly peasant girl. You're above shame, aren't you?
What do you think you're doing? This is an act of blasphemy.
The Lord pressed his hand... Oh, sorry. I saw Lord. Man, I'm struggling today. I'm really sorry.
The Lord pressed his hand against my mouth, bringing his face in just inches away from mine.
I would encourage you not to insult my guests, Saint. Your job is to provide them with your blood, not give sermons.
He placed a knife against my neck. Intense pain jolted through my body.
No tears. Now that's a good girl. It simply wouldn't be the same if you cried and blubbered like a lowly slave or whore. Dignified and saintly. That's what I need you to be.
The Lord brought a goblet up to my neck, filling it with the blood flowing from the gash. He raised it high into the air.
Cheers! A saint's blood and good fortune to all.
And then started passing it around to his guests. Staring hazily out into the crowd, I prayed. Prayed that someone might speak up, might proclaim this to be a terrible affront against the Lord that it was, might declare that I should be set free. That someone, anyone, would speak against the Lord.
What a wonderfully curious item you found yourself with, Lord Barnier.
Indeed, you never failed to surprise my lord. But his wealthy companions had no objections. In fact, they were quite pleased, smiling and laughing with teeth bared. Most of them looked like they had never gone a day in their lives without a proper meal. And all of them were wearing masks to hide their faces. An unholy Sabbath. A filthy, perverse blood Sabbath. My consciousness began slipping away, not from pain, but despair. I couldn't bear the sight of them, these men and women who didn't fear God, reveling in depravity. They were monsters dressed in fancy clothing. Or perhaps they were demons, taking the form of humans. And these were the gates of hell. The Lord held such banquets on a regular basis. And every time he did, he drained me of my blood. Before long, my body was covered in scars and gashes. I could hardly even bear to look at my own arms and legs. In some places, I was purple and swollen. In others, my skin seemed to curl back and reveal the raw, pink flesh beneath. Everywhere, I was wet and slick with blood. The wounds were far worse, far more hideous than any I had given myself to help the people of my village. It was a gut-wrenching, repulsive. The Lord sometimes had trouble deciding where to cut, but not out of any sense of sympathy for me. He simply thought the drawing blood from an untouched area of my body would make it more effective.
Perhaps I'll use your stomach today, Saint. I should be able to get some nice, pure blood from there.
At that point in time, I hadn't been completely stripped of my willpower quite yet. Because my physical restraints prevented me from fighting back, I put all my energy into ensuring my spirit did not yield to him. Stop this. Can you not comprehend that what you're doing is an affront to the Lord?
I'm free to do what I wish with my property. Saint or not, you are no different than any of my slaves.
The Lord is greatly displeased with your actions.
Then use your miracle powers to deliver divine punishment on me. Go on. You can do that, can't you?
Your soul will be punished. You may not see the effects now, but you will pay for your sins one day.
You're not as threatening as you think you are, buck naked girl. Don't give me that look, girl. I have no interest in taking that from you. You'd be lucky to find anyone willing to lay with a girl covered in disgusting scars. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to eat too, don't you, daughter of God? I'm told consuming meat increases the amount of blood your body produces. So I've acquired some special exotic meat just for you.
I don't want your meat.
Now, don't be difficult. I can't have you running out of blood on me, so you will eat this meat, even if I have to force it down that tiny throat of yours. Slave boy, get in here. Bring the saint her supper. Hurry up, you worthless worm. My apologies for keeping you waiting, my lord. You dare drop food before your lord, cur! You ruined my robes. Are you incapable of even carrying a damned plate across the room? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Stop it, please! Does he really deserve to be hit for that?
A slave's sole purpose in life is to serve their master. A slave who cannot follow simple orders deserves whatever punishment I decide they deserve, saint. The meat on the bone.
Please.
Oh, sorry. Please have mercy. Don't kill me too. I beg of you. All right, then this is how we'll handle it. If you eat the meat, saint, I'll turn a blind eye to the boy's mistake.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll eat the meat. However much you want, I'll eat it. So please do not raise your hand against the boy any further.
Very well.
With a satisfied smirk, the Lord returned to the fallen meat to the plate and set it before me. Ugh. I almost gagged at the stench. It didn't appear to be spoiled, but nonetheless it was indescribably unpleasant. In no small part, I imagined, because it was raw.
What's the matter? You said you would eat. I'm guessing, so here's my theory. I think that this is where her disease came from. Eating raw meat and getting cut up all the time. It's like not that much different from like a festering corpse, essentially. That's my theory, though. Was that simply a lie to stay my hand, daughter of God?
I'll eat it. My hands were still shackled, so I had no choice but to bend forward and take a piece into my mouth like a wild animal. I tried to clear my mind, to not think about what I was doing. How I must have looked. A holy saint of the Lord, unclothed and in chains, gnawing at raw meat like a stray dog. Miserable. Disgraceful. Ugh, it smells so bad. And I've never tasted anything like this before.
Why?
What?
Why? Oh, what did he do?
He? The slave boy, still on the floor from the Lord's beating, was looking over at me with vacant eyes. Or rather, at the meat.
I've read Requiem before, yes. Once before. Once only because it made me so traumatized.
No. You wouldn't. This isn't... Is it?
He didn't deserve this.
No. I would never... I couldn't. No.
Well, well. Is the meat not to your liking then, Saint? Hear that, slave? The saint says your brother tastes so bad it makes her wretch.
I didn't know.
But you didn't keep your word, now did you? Listen up, boy. It's the dungeon for you. No, please, no, please, no, please, 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 no! Guards, someone shut this worm up and toss him in the dungeon. Please! No!
He's mad. Everyone's completely mad. How can a man like him, a man so twisted and cruel, exist on God's earth? Someone, please get me out of here. Take me away from this place. Anyone. Oh, Father, who art in heaven, I pray for you to lead me unto deliverance. Father, your trials, they are much too great.
Ugh. I feel like my brain's been pickled in booze. My head's pounding. Throwing it all back up helped a bit, but tomorrow's going to be absolute hell.
You were great as always, darling. So what do you say we continue this somewhere a little more private? It's so sweet of you to offer, but like I told you last time and the time before, I can't. It's against the rules. Hey, now, we both know the other girl's already having some extra fun on the side. If you ask me, I think we'd make good lovers. Because we sure make good love. You know, to tell you the truth, I do kind of like you. Oh, then you'll... But you're missing one very important thing I require of all my lovers.
What is it? What am I missing?
Money. Once you got a treasury I can swim in, then we can talk. Till then, we'll keep it strictly business.
God, you really are a cold-hearted bitch.
Fine, whatever. See you again. And a wonderful evening to you too, sir.
Fucking man, I swear.
God, what a mood, Maria, what a mood. You act friendly for 10 minutes and they think you want to get hitched.
Queen. He seemed like a very pleasant man.
Jacopo? Oh God, don't tell me you saw that.
I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's no big deal. No skin off my back. Also, holy hell, how much did you drink? You smell like you bought the whole pub back with you. Brought it back, whatever.
It wasn't my decision. I wasn't planning on drinking at all.
Really now? Well, not that it matters. So, quick question for you, Jacopo. Want to be lovers?
Excuse me?
Wow. Chill, man. Tone it down like 10 notches, would you?
But where did that come from?
Did you really? I never realized you felt that way about... Like hell I do, dipshit.
Harsh words.
It's just, I'm tired of going through the same routine over and over and over again. Never stops, no matter how many I turn down. So I figure if people think I've already got someone, it may lose me a few clients. But it also means spending less time dealing with guys like him.
You're more than welcome to use my name if you think that'll help. Are you sure that's what you want, though?
What? What do you mean, am I sure?
I just mean, it could come back to bite you when you find someone you actually love.
Someone I actually love, huh? Yeah, I can't see that happening. Never.
You're still young. Who knows what the future may hold?
I've just got a gut feeling.
Oh?
Yeah, something deep down just tells me love just ain't for me. I can't imagine myself ever feeling that way about anyone. And it's not something I want either. It doesn't interest me at all. I never really wanted kids or family. Hell, even the idea kind of grosses me out, honestly. I'm not sure why, or if there even is a reason. It's not like something ever happened to me to make me this way, or one day I decided, nope, ain't happening. All that shit just isn't for me, plain and simple, a romantic icon. You know, sometimes a couple of the girls would come up to me and say, you should find yourself a nice man, Maria. I know they mean well, but it's frustrating. I don't want to deal with it. I mean, I mostly tune that kind of talk out. I almost automatically said shit for her. Whatever. Kind of shit out automatically now, but still. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I just need to get that off my chest. You think that makes me weird?
No, not at all.
I don't think love is inherently bad or anything. If that's what makes someone happy, more power to them.
I won't deny you're a unique woman. Pretty clothes and jewelry don't faze you. And you don't thrive on gossip and drama like many girls I know. But you've always been this way, for as long as I've known you. You are who you are, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, and how interested you are in finding love isn't going to change how I treat you. Requiem, Jacopo drinks his respect women juice. I feel like he wouldn't even care if she came out as trans or something like that. He doesn't care. He just likes his people. He wants his people to be okay.
Thanks, Jacopo. You're a good guy. I'm a good friend.
No problem. I'm glad you feel that way.
I like what we have. I like it a lot. You, me, friends. Whatever's between our legs be damned. And I hope it can stay that way. Even if everyone else wants to give a shit for it.
Of course it will. I have total confidence in our friendship. And that it can continue to grow over the years. Ooh! Me being a man and you being a woman has no bearing on any of that. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. You fuck it up anyway.
Man, I gotta say, you actually speaking your mind instead of putting on airs. Kinda gives me the creeps.
Well, if that's how you're going to be, see if I ever do it again. Anyway, I suppose your uniqueness is what allows you to believe so strongly in friendship. Your, how should I put it?
Complete and utter inability to comprehend love?
To put it bluntly, yeah.
Guess that's one benefit to me being a weirdo then. I get to have you as a friend.
So it is. Although, in that sense, I'm not much different than her. I've never had romantic feelings for anyone either.
So, hey. I know I said this like a couple hours ago or whatever, but seriously, please try not to get in over your head, okay? I'm pretty damn content with the way things are. I mean, sure, I'm poor, and sure, I'm a whore. Living old age is probably out of the question. But I think that's a pretty solid balance, all told. I've got me a good friend. I work with some great girls. Life ain't half bad. I enjoy it with all its ups and downs. It's a hell of a lot better here than at the orphanage. What more can I possibly ask for? What we've got is good, isn't it?
I'd like to check in on the girl. That's not a problem. I managed to get my hands on some ointment.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, didn't mean to talk your ear off like that.
It's fine. Oh, and I also found the butterfly brooch she was asking about.
Oh, nice. She'll be happy to see that, I imagine.
Any change in her condition while I was out?
Nope, she's just been sleeping. Here, let me walk you to her room.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Maria. You may be content with the way things are, but I'm not. I want to go out into the world one day. Prove myself. I'm tired of being sneered at and told I'm worthless. Inferior. Oh, Jacopo. Jacopo is a good boy. He just needs therapy. She's sleeping so soundly. Part of me wonders if she'll ever wake up.
Anyway, room's all yours. I've got to get back to work.
All right. Thanks. Take care of yourself out there.
Man, I've been at this for years. You don't have to worry about me.
I guess now's as good a time as any to apply the ointment. Hmm? Are you okay?
No, please don't. I'm begging you. Help.
Hey, what's... Suddenly, the girl began writhing on the bed and clasping at her chest. Half panicked, I reached out for her. When I realized her eyes were wide open. They were pale gold and staring straight through me. No, that doesn't quite capture it. I felt almost as though I had just been skewered with a spear. They looked horribly out of place on her disfigured face. The dark patches of flesh, in fact, seemed to accentuate her eyes. The contrast giving them a curious sort of magnetism. Unwavering resolve and fragility. Benevolence and seething madness. They were enchanting and also overwhelmingly inhuman. This song, so good. Perhaps their otherworldly beauty was in some way a result of her being in shambles physically and mentally. Like she was standing on the precipice, majestic wings spread wide as she had prepared to embark on her journey back to heaven. Not on my watch, you're not. You put those damn wings away. Hold on, I'll go get some water. Hey! As I tried to step away from where she lay, the girl abruptly lurched forward and chomped down on my arm. It's what you deserve. Shit! Get off me! Calm down. I am not your enemy. Her teeth clenched down on my arm, ripping into my flesh with a force I never imagined the girl capable of. I was afraid she might take a good chunk of it with her. That said, I could have easily knocked her away. She was an emaciated child, and myself a relatively healthy adult man. Hey! Which is precisely why I didn't. As the girl growled and gnawed at me like a rabid dog, I forced myself to make a smile and let her have at me. That's what it takes to placate you. My arm is all yours. Bite it, claw it, rip it off, whatever you want. A few years back, there was a stray cat not far from where I lived. It was always hissing and biting anyone that got near it. But after a while, when it realized we meant it no harm, it stopped all that. It calmed down. Humans are the same way. We're just big animals. That said, this really does hurt like a son of a bitch. After some time, she finally released my arm, taking a deep breath and pulling away. Then she seemed to roll her tongue around inside of her mouth, as though trying to clean it. And when she was done with that, she began surveying the room with her pale gold eyes. They weren't the feral, glimmering eyes of an animal anymore, but clear and lucid. Human. Looks like you finally calmed down.
Let go of me! Whoa, I'm not gonna hurt you. Let go! Get your hands off me, please!
Okay, no need to shout. I won't touch you without permission. I won't do anything to make you uncomfortable. Let's try this again. Have you calmed down? Though she still seemed to be disoriented, she gave me a nod. Okay, good. Actual communication. Progress.
Where am I?
She doesn't seem to remember our escape from the Lord's Manor. Not that that surprises me. She spoke in half whisper, her voice much more restrained than other girls her age. Her fear had subdued, turning her soft-spoken and aloof. Considering everything she had been through,
Finding herself now in an unfamiliar room with a stranger was a natural response, but it still seemed unbefitting. This is, well, would she even know what a brothel is? And if she did, would telling her that go over well? It's kind of like my home, I guess you could say.
I hear strange voices. Women. They sound like they're moaning.
Ugh.
And the floor is creaking.
Yeah, sure is. Oh, crap. I've gotten so used to that I just tune it all out automatically. But she's right. You can definitely hear voices through the walls. I'm talking my way out of that.
This is your home, you said? So you host terrible banquets as well?
Whoa. Don't jump to conclusions. I'm sorry, I lied. This isn't my home. I just wasn't sure if I could explain it in a way you would understand. We're in a brothel. Do you know what that is? It's where a bunch of women called prostitutes get together and sell sad men happiness.
I know what a prostitute is.
Oh, do you? I'm surprised. You're a little young for that.
They are unclean. They disobey my father's teachings.
Oh, what?
God says fornication is a sin. All who indulge in worldly pleasure defile themselves and shall be cast down into hell. Why am I in a brothel?
Because this is the only place I knew that would look after you. But don't you worry. I have a good friend here. You can trust her. She'll take good care of you.
So, you sold me to a whorehouse?
Excuse me?
You mean to defile me further? To make me into a harlot?
Whoa, slow down. I never said that, and no, that's not why I brought you here.
Liar.
First off, you'd never...
You're a liar. You mean to force me to defy the teachings of my father? Ugh. Take me back to the Lord's manor.
Are you out of your mind?
I'd rather be there than here. He's a terrible, cruel, evil man, but at least he let me keep my chastity. So take me back to him.
Okay, stop. Not another goddamn word. You want me to take you back to the Lord's manor? Like hell! Do you have any idea what I went through to get you out of there? And then there's Maria, who's been caring for you while I was out. We're helping you. Everything we've done has been to help you. And then you say you want to go back to getting sliced up by that sick bastard? Are you insane?
Please, don't shout.
Sorry.
I'm begging you, just let me have my chastity.
Are you kidding me?
I must remain pure. I cannot return to my father's side when I pass on, if my soul has been tarnished.
Oh, for the love. How many times do I have to tell you? I have no intention of making you into a prostitute. Besides, even if I did, you couldn't get any work looking like that.
What do you mean?
Hold on, I'll get a mirror. It'll be quicker for you to see for yourself. I grabbed one of the prostitute's hand mirrors and passed it to the girl, which she hesitantly accepted. She seemed less concerned about the mirror itself and more wary that I might do something to her. Slowly, she turned her gaze toward the reflective surface. It was generally difficult to gauge her expression through the patches of dark and festering flesh, but the look of horror that spread across her face was clear as day.
Why? How? What are these terrible marks? He never cut my face. So why?
I take that to mean she didn't always have the marks on her face then.
Is that something the Lord did to her? But she just said he didn't cut her there, did she? It's hard to make out her muttering. God, now I feel like an asshole. You are. If I'd known she would take it so badly, I would have just kept my damn mouth shut. Now do you understand? You can't be a prostitute. I can only imagine how awful it must be to find out your face is covered in scars, especially for a girl your age. But don't let it get you too down. They could very well still heal. Huh?
Would you please kill me?
What? Why the hell would I?
Taking one's own life is a sin. So I need you to do it for me.
For the love of... Did you forget everything I just said? I saved your life. And now you're asking me to kill you? What the hell is wrong with you?
I wish to return to my father's side.
Okay, listen real carefully. Yeah, your life kind of sucks right now. I get that. We all have times we'd rather be dead. But you can't just give up. Persevere, and good fortune will eventually find you. Live on, and you'll eventually have a chance to get your payback. Things may be bad now, but you're still just a child. You have so much opportunity for things to get worse. So much opportunity to make things better. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So don't you ask me to kill you again. You'll just get the same answer. I know, won't do it. End of story. Hello? Say something. So you're giving me the silent treatment. Anyway, I brought ointment, like I said I would. Give me your arm, I'll apply it.
No.
So she'll talk to me to shut me down, but that's it?
I wish to be alone.
I'll leave, if that's what you want, but don't you go dying on me.
I will not take my own life. It is a sin.
That's some bizarre logic, but if that's what it takes to keep you from killing yourself, I'll take it. Well, I'll be off then. The ointment's right here. I'd appreciate if you actually used it. I'll see you. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I found your butterfly perch. This is it, right? I'll leave it here with the ointment. And now I'm off, for real. I'll check in on you again tomorrow. He just needs anger management. Am I wrong? That was a lot more work than I expected.
Oh, look who it is. All done with your little visit?
Yeah, all done. Same with you, I take it?
Yep, just a little bit ago. God, you would not believe that last guy. He was so rough I thought he was going to tear me a third hole.
Maria. Is that so? Not sure how I'm supposed to react to that information.
Is any news? Or did she just sleep the whole time?
No, she woke up. We even spoke briefly.
Well, shit, that's great news.
That's debatable.
Oh, what happened? Your big sis is all ears.
Except I'm older than you, and we're not related either.
Huh. Well, I didn't figure her life was all rainbows and sunshine. So what, you want to look after her? Because let me tell you, it'll be hard. Thankless work.
I made that choice when I rescued her from the Lord's Manor. I'd at least like to take care of her until she's able to support herself to some degree.
Well, I'll do what I can to help too. We can spare room for her here as long as she needs.
I appreciate it. She seems far too wary of me to stay with me.
You were planning on taking on that poor, innocent girl to live with you? Man, I thought you had standards.
No, for the love of God, no! I would never!
That affection is never gonna get old. Anyway, pretty strange marks she's got on her face, huh? Any idea what they might be? There was a girl who used to work here a while back. One day she woke up and she was covered in warts. Warts? What's that have to do with this?
Chill, I'm getting at that.
Me and the other girls, we thought one of her clients had given her something. Not uncommon in this line of work. We'd never seen anything like it before, but we just assumed it was some kind of rare disease. Not long after she quit, and well, to tell you the truth, I figured she'd turn up dead in some ditch somewhere. But she got lucky, and a family in a better part of town took her in, let her work for him as a maidservant or whatever. When I ran into her a few years later, all the warts were gone. At first I assumed the disease had just run its course, but as I talked to her, I started to think that wasn't it.
Oh?
Apparently, some of her clients at the brothel used to harass her real bad. And even go as far as chasing her around the slums. She wasn't a particularly tough girl, so it did a real number on her, psychologically and emotionally. But she told me as soon as she got out of it all, and it all stopped, the warts just went away. Poof. So my guess is, sometimes people's emotional states can have physical consequences. And you think the marks on the girl's face are the same thing? Yep. The Lord tortured her so bad he busted her up mentally and emotionally on top of everything else, and that's what we're seeing with her face. I mean, I could be completely wrong, too. But for all we know, the Lord did cut up her face and she just doesn't remember. Or it could be something else entirely. Could be some kind of disease. Good point. Either way, there's no doubt she's been to hell and back. So plan on at least 3 years of ice breaking if you want to get through to her.
3 years. That sounds about right.
Try to watch yourself, though. You can have a bit of a short fuse sometimes.
I will. Little does she know I've already snapped once. I should get going then. It's been one hell of a day. I'm beat.
Get all the rest you need. I'll let you know if anything happens here.
Thank you. Good night.
Sleep tight.
I love them. They're besties. They deserve to be happy for forever, but they are idiots. Actually, you know what? That's a lie. Jacopo's an idiot. Maria is not. But I do love their friendship very much. It's definitely my favorite part of Requiem. Oh, goodness. I will say, doing both their voices, it's a lot. Anyway.
I don't wish to die for such worldly reasons. It is simply unacceptable for a saint of the Lord to look like some kind of terrible hellspawn. With every moment, I grow more impure. Is this another trial, O Father?
You're a damned witch wearing a saint's skin.
So that's what he meant. I do rather resemble a witch. Not a servant of the Lord, but a disciple of the devil. No, I cannot cry. I must not lament of my own misfortune. I must not feel sorry for myself. My tears, a saint's tears, should only be shed for others.
Sorry, as soon as I saw the background, I knew what was coming and I got distressed and I knocked things over. Requiem's rough.
My darling little saint. Instead of singing a lullaby, I will tell you a story. The story of the day you first graced this earth. On that day, I told the village a very important secret. That I was visited by an angel of the Lord, and that I was with child though I had known no man. The other villagers mocked me, called me a liar and a madwoman. But I did not relent, for it was the truth. And then, when you let out your first cry, rain clouds suddenly began to form in the sky, and the land was blessed with rain after many months of drought. The clouds, they were drawn here by your voice, my dear. a gift from your father, the Lord God. No longer did the villagers call me a liar. They believed in me, and they believed in you. I saved everyone. Yes, yes, you did, my little saint. And you will continue to deliver people from their suffering. Did I deliver you too, Mother? Of course you did, my dear. I'm glad.
You're the daughter of a charlatan. A virgin birth? A load of lies, every damned word. The rain? Nothing more than a chance. If you really are the child of God, then perform a miracle for us.
Pay that crude man no mind, my dear. I know that you are a daughter of God, and that's what matters most. I can hardly believe there are those who are still not convinced.
So, what are you waiting for? You can do it, can't you? Your family of liars.
Wait, Morgana! You mustn't get near that boorish blasphemer!
Got something you want to say, kid? Well, go right ahead. I'm all ears.
Miracles?
Yeah?
Miracles are neither magic nor parlor tricks. They are realized through the power of faith.
What now?
You have no place demanding God prove his own divinity. It is the height of arrogance. You have blasphemed. Repent of your sins.
Trying to talk your way out of your lies now, are you? I'll admit, your charlatan mother trained you well. You put on a pretty convincing act, girl. You can't perform miracles. All you have are excuses and thinly veiled reasons why you won't. But until you own up, I won't stop spreading the real word. That your mother's pulling the wool over everyone's eyes.
Very well. I will perform a miracle.
Oh,
Morgana, you can't! Do not worry, Mother. I am the daughter of God, right? My father will not forsake me.
So what kind of miracle are you going to perform for us? And just so you know, whatever you do, it better be convincing. No guessing the weather this time.
Blood is impure, yes?
What?
That is why we drain some of our blood when we are sick, and why we remove the blood from animals before we eat them.
Right.
So if I were to make blood pure and clean, would that be a miracle? Well, would it?
Yeah, I guess it would. But that's impossible. You can't do it.
Okay then. Let us go visit the elderly woman on the village outskirts. Oh God, help us.
Mom's freaking out.
Good afternoon, sister. How are you feeling today?
If it isn't our beloved saint. How very kind of you to pay this old woman a visit.
Please stay in bed. I know you are very ill. You must rest.
Oh, heavens, no. That would be dreadfully rude of me. The rain you brought 6 years ago saved my family's lives. I am more thankful than you can imagine, and I would like to show my gratitude.
Look at this hag. Her goddamn memory is starting to go.
If you are going to be disrespectful, then please wait outside. I do not want your profanity contaminating this sacred rite. Otherwise, stay quiet if you wish to see the miracle being performed.
Oh, beautiful saint, please, allow me to kiss your feet.
Thank you, my sister. That will suffice. I am here to perform a miracle for you.
For me?
Yes. You have always believed in me, your faith never wavering. 6 years ago, the whole village acknowledged me as the daughter of God. But as you can see, there are those whose faith is not as strong as yours.
How terribly tragic.
That it is. But fear not. For as long as there remain those with faith as strong as yours, a few unbelievers will not weaken my power. For faith is the path to salvation.
Yes. Yes, it is.
In celebration of your 6 years of unfaltering faith, I have decided to perform another miracle for you today. I ask you to do as I say and know that I love you dearly.
Of course.
My beloved sister, partake of my blood.
It's so fucked up.
Hey, did you hear the news? The old lady is back on her feet again. I ran into her down in the fields and she about jumped out of my skin. Word going round is that it was the saint's work. I heard she made her drink her blood. Drink her blood? She's a daughter of God. Her blood ain't dirty like the rest of us. Got real power. I guess what they said is true. She really is the child of God. Yep, we got ourselves a real genuine saint here. Not many people can say that. No, there's no way. It's not possible. It can't be. There he is! The bastard who dared insult our saint! Get him! We'll put his head on a pike. Show everyone what happens when you disrespect our saint. Totally normal. Ah!
Stop this at once!
Our saint!
Please let that man go. The Lord teaches us to be kind and forgiving of one another. It does not please him to see man fighting against man.
But he insulted you, our saint. He called you the daughter of a charlatan.
Everyone makes mistakes. I bear no grudge against him for a momentary lapse in judgment. I simply pray his eyes have been opened to the truth. I do not wish to see him punished. I forgive you.
Thank you. Thank you. I was wrong. You are a saint. Never again will I call you a liar. I am your faithful servant, my beloved saint.
Your devotion is truly honorable. I have returned, Mother.
Oh, welcome back, my dear saint.
Everything will be fine now, Mother. The entire village acknowledges me as a saint. We need not worry about any unbelievers. And they will show you the respect you deserve as well as the mother of God's daughter. No one will ever call you a charlatan again, Mother.
That's good to hear. Thank you, Morgana. Baby Morgs. I have mommy issues too, it's fine.
It's still night. I'm thirsty. I'll go get some water.
What did I...
Mother's still awake? Who is she talking to? Herself?
Oh God, what did I bring into this world? She scares me sometimes. When I look into her eyes, when I hear her voice, I feel like my soul is being sucked out of my body. She's a girl of barely 6 years, yet she terrifies me. I'm beginning to think she really does have some kind of strange power that allows her to manipulate, to control people. What I'm not sure of is whether or not it's truly a holy power. Is she really a saint? My heart tells me she's something else. Oh, what horror have I brought upon this earth? You know as well as I do, God, that nothing divine could possibly grow in my womb. Are you punishing me, God, for the sins I committed that night years ago with the vagrant?
I'm dreaming. This is all a bad dream. Mother would never say such things about me. It's just a dream. Good morning, my darling little saint. Is something the matter? You look vexed. Mother, last night...
Did something happen last night?
No, nothing happened. Mother, I've always been a saint, right? From the day I was born.
What's gotten into you, my dear? Of course, you are the daughter of God. Nothing will ever change that.
Thank you. So it was all a dream. I should just forget all about it.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have something for you. I'm sure you'll love it. For your 6th birthday. It's not much, but will you wear it?
What is it?
It's a little brooch. You can use it with a shawl or a cloak.
It's a butterfly.
Butterflies are said to be God's messengers, so I thought it would fit you nicely, my dear.
It's so pretty.
Hmm?
I mustn't allow myself to be taken in by shallow, worldly beauty. I am not an ordinary little girl. Father would be greatly disappointed in me if I were to behave like one. Thank you very much, Mother. Your gift means a great deal to me. Of course I will make use of it.
You're quite welcome. It's hard to believe you're only 6 years old.
What was that, Mother?
Oh, nothing. Before I forget, after what you did the other day, people have begun asking about having you perform miracles for them, too. But you're still so young. I'm not sure it's wise for you to go around giving out blood to everyone who asks.
No, it's fine. I will do it. It is my sacred duty as a saint to put those in need before myself.
Even if it means cutting yourself up every day?
I will accept the pain gladly. It is a symbol of the good work I do in my Father's name.
I see. Well, you've made up your mind, it seems. So I'll support you in any way I can. Had another busy day. It's been 3 years, with no end in sight. We're starting to see more and more travelers from faraway lands. People have even set up trading posts in the village. Yet not a single coin comes our way. We're losing money every day. Morgana.
What is it, Mother? I must prepare for my next blessing.
Why must you hand out miracles for nothing?
Why would you even ask such a question, Mother?
We're barely holding on as it is, my dear. It's not wrong to expect a little remuneration for our... remuneration. We went through this last time. I think I've been pronouncing it wrong my entire life. Either that or it's spelled wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
No, Mother, it is wrong. Miracles are not to be bartered for. God the Father does not charge for his miracles. So why should we when I am only borrowing his power?
Listen to me, Morgana. Every time you give someone a blessing, you're hurting yourself. If not for the miracle itself, you'd still deserve some degree of compensation for the pain.
I know you're concerned for me, Mother, and I appreciate it very much. But I'm happy with the way things are. I'm happy to be able to help others with my Heavenly Father's power.
A power you won't have much longer, my dear, if we can't afford to keep ourselves fed.
I'm a saint, aren't I?
Yes, you're my sweet little saint.
God will not forsake his saint. No matter how difficult it may get, he will always provide me a way to continue doing his work. And you're the mother of that saint, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. I conceived you untainted by the hands of a man.
Then you must respect his will as well, Mother. It must be our highest priority.
You're right. I was wrong, my dear saint.
Mother. Mother. You agreed with me. You said I was right. So why are you taking money from that man? Mother. Why? I mustn't let myself cry. I must always stay strong. I must endure his trials. My saintly grace must not waver. Father would be greatly disappointed in me. And then I would have nowhere to call home.
Oh my goodness, Morgana. You're killing me. Religion is terrifying. Religion, actually, you know what, let me rephrase that. Religion itself is not terrifying. How people handle religion is what terrifies me. I don't think religion in itself is like the worst thing in the world. I think it can be very beneficial in some ways, but a lot of people don't know how to handle it in a way that's healthy. It's time. Anyway, my entire head is throbbing. What a wonderful way to start the day. I'd like to sleep in for another 6 or 12 hours. I still have things to take care of after yesterday. First, down to the pub to talk to the gang. I drink way too much. Dear God.
Jacopo! Jacopo! I need your help! I can't carry everyone out all by myself!
All right. I'll drag them out in the streets. Please don't shout, though. My head hurts enough as it is.
Thank you!
I said stop shouting! I guess I'll start with him. Morning, friends!
Oh, it's the big guy from last night!
Name's Gratien. Try not to forget it, because you'll be seeing a lot of me. Which reminds me, I never got your name.
I'm just a trifling little flower. My name isn't important, but if you would lend us a hand, that would be lovely.
A hand with what? I'm just here for the booze.
Haven't you had enough?
Not even close.
Well, there isn't anything left. Or did you forget? The two of you, last night, drank the whole town dry. We're just going to be a plain old restaurant for at least the next few days.
Oh, well, that's a crying shame.
And whose fault do you think that is?
How many more trips is this gonna take? They're all still out like rocks. I thought they erected a new wall there for a second, but it's just you. Just so we're clear, since there wasn't any real resolution last night, you passed out first. Which means Hey, top of the morning to you, Jacopo. And what a beautiful morning it is. You seem to be doing quite well. What happened to the aggressively competitive Gratien from last night? I had you all wrong, Jacopo. What? I had you pegged for the stick up your ass rich boy kind of fella, but you drink like a real pro. The true measure of a man is how well he holds his booze. You know what? Okay, he reminds me, if you've played the second Eye of the Somnium Files, of Leon. Same energy. And you proved yourself. You're one hell of a man. Oh, sure. Pfft, at least give me a hearty hell yeah, would you? Don't tell me I was wrong about you being wrong about you. I was wrong about being wrong about you. But that is rough. I'm just not at full capacity at the moment. It's taking me a little longer than normal to process. Anywho, point is, you got my seal of approval. We helped each other out back at the Lord Asswipe's manor, but now we're comrades, partners in crime. Hold up. What, you don't want to be partners? I never said that. You make it sound like you're planning on staying, though. I most certainly do. You were one of the Lord's slaves. You know, the slaves who incited the revolt? It's not safe for you to stay here. If someone were to identify you, you'd be dead and... life's too short to quibble over shit like someone might be trying to kill you. It's hardly quibbling. There's a reason we had all the other slaves transported to different cities. Trust me, I know it ain't safe for me to stick around. But I want to be here when that whore son finally gets what's coming. Like hell I'm bailing before his head's on a pike. Okay then. As long as you're aware of the risks, that's your choice to make. And in that case, I'm glad to have you. The addition of such a valiant comrade should prove quite inspiring to the rest of the gang. You're damn right it will. You should have just said that to begin with. Skip all the not safe nonsense. Look at his little smile. Himbo. Besides, everything you just said applies the same to you. Gratian is so funny. As far as anyone in that manor's concerned, you're a slave as much as me. And your infiltration job didn't exactly have you laying low. They'll recognize you. Fair enough. I haven't heard of any wanted posters going up yet, but you're right. It's best to remain cautious for now. Though as long as we keep to the slums, we should be relatively safe. For the time being. But as amusing as a thought that is, we're safer in this lawless dump. As amusing a thought as that is, we're safer in this lawless dump than the city proper. Why did they put a period there? I don't understand that. Okay. Rito! I have a question. Indeed. But the gang has eyes and ears covering the whole district. If someone who doesn't belong shows up, word will spread quickly. Ah, so if the Lord's guards try to slip in, their cover will be blown just like that, eh? Precisely. Which isn't to say it's a good part of town, of course. We have more than our fair share of hooligans. You just have to be able to protect yourself. Which I doubt will be an issue for you. Hell yeah. Bring on the pickpockets. I'll rob every last one of them blind. Maybe even literally. I'm glad he's on our side. Well, if you're going to be staying here, I should probably show you more than just our pub of choice. You'll need to find work as well. Not that that should prove any trouble. With your muscle, you can choose pretty much anything. Bodyguard, a carpenter, a metalworker, whatever you like. But first... Could I ask you to help me get these dolts outside? Aye, aye. Where do you want me to toss them? Be gentle with them, if you would. They are ours, for what it's worth. Good lord. Between cleaning up at the pub and showing Gratian around town, there goes most of my day. The brothel's probably open by now. Though through the back entrance it is. Hey, anyone home? No one? Not even the girl? Don't tell me she went out wandering in her condition.
Oh, hey there, Jacopo. Perfect timing.
Maria, the girl, where'd she go?
Huh? She was here last I checked.
Last you checked? You're supposed to be looking after her. Anyway, help me look for her.
Yeah, I don't think that'll,
Excuse me?
turn around.
Oh, where have you been? Baby Morgs, hello. I didn't even sense her approaching. I swear she just appeared there like a ghost. Where did you get those clothes?
Oh yeah, we were digging around in the dressing room and I found it there. I wanted to get her into something a little cuter, but she insisted on that. I didn't even know we had clothes that bland around here. Girls come and go, though, so it probably belonged to someone who's not around anymore. Still, I'm shocked anyone who ever worked here ever wore such a boner killer. It's a cloak for pilgrimages. Huh? An outfit someone wears while on a pilgrimage. This is far, far more beautiful than any of those filthy whore rags.
Oh, a pilgrimage, huh? I never would have guessed we had a girl who was into that.
Yet she abandoned her spiritual journey and entered into this den of sinners.
I guess?
Nevertheless, I am glad there was clothing suitable for me to wear.
Yeah, talk about luck. Anyway, I've got an appointment. I'll be back. Oh, well, hey, Maria! I get that she's difficult, but you didn't have to ditch me, damn it. It is a rather plain outfit, though. All black and brown. Oh, so her dress is brown, but it shows as red. So that's like the fun thing. No one knows, for sure. She'd probably blend in quite well with the darkness. Which would explain why I couldn't find her when I got here.
Why are you staring at me?
Well, I'm glad you found something you could wear with your brooch. Also, God, keeping a conversation going with her is like pulling teeth. Yeah, you look like you're doing a lot better than yesterday. Much more color in your cheeks.
As if you can tell the difference beneath all these scars.
It's an expression. I'm just saying you look much better. You could barely even sit up yesterday. You're recovering impressively quickly. I imagine it won't be long before you're back at full capacity.
Yesterday,
What about yesterday?
Thank you for rescuing me.
What? Right, that. No, don't mention it. It was nothing, really.
That's not what you said last night.
Oh, come on, just let me be humble, would you? Anyway, I wasn't expecting that. I was readying myself for another argument. I also wasn't sure how much of what happened you even remembered, with how hysterical you got.
I was not hysterical.
My arm begs to...
My mind was clear almost the whole time. I remember everything. First, a slave, you, saved my life from the wicked lord.
I'm not actually a slave, but details.
You took me by the arm, put me on your back, and fled from the lord's manor.
That I did.
I was a little hazy for some of the trip, but by the time you reached the poor quarter, my mind had cleared up almost entirely.
What?
My consciousness had returned by that point.
Oh?
You brought me to this brothel, and yes, at first I was frightened because I believed you meant to have me become a whore. But that is the one and only instance of me last night you could describe as hysterical. I remember everything quite well, thank you.
Okay then. Fair enough. You're right. Can't tell if she's sincere or just trying to convince herself. She seems unusually repulsed by the idea of losing her cool. She's not entirely right, but she's not entirely wrong either, so I'll let her have this one. In any event, you've recovered well enough to hold a conversation, which is great to see.
What do you mean to do with me now?
Better question. What do you want to do? Alright, well... Here's an idea if you don't have anything. You can stay here until you're all the way back on your feet. Maria's already set aside that room for you.
You want me to stay in this vile gathering place of sinners?
You do realize who you're talking about, right? Those vile sinners are the ones who took you in. Who agreed to look after you. They're no different than you or me. Just doing what they must to get by.
I am not like them.
You're right. They don't look down on others for their line of work. At the very least, try to keep your callous prejudice against prostitutes to yourself when they're around, would you?
Why? It is my sacred duty to spread the word of God. Indulging in carnal pleasure is a sin, no matter the reason. Prostitutes are filthy, tainted women.
Christ, did all the blood from the Lord that the Lord took cause your damn heart to shrivel up? In what world is it reasonable for you to go up to women offering you sanctuary and call them to their faces sinners? Show them some gratitude, damn it!
You are the one who brought me here. I never asked them to do anything for me.
Fine, whatever. If you're that opposed to staying here, then go. Get the hell out. You don't deserve their hospitality. Go off and preach the word of God and call everyone sinners. I expect someone will find you dead on the side of the road in less than a fortnight.
Very well. Thank you for yesterday. And farewell.
Wait. Wait.
Yes?
Are you insane? You're not supposed to actually go. Jacopo kills me. I love him, though. Does everyone see why now? Does everyone see why I love Jacopo? Does everyone see now? Do we get it?
You're the one who told me to leave.
I just... Ugh. Off to a great start with that 3 years of ice breaking, Jacopo. She's been through hell, you know that! I'm sorry. I take everything back. That was extremely childish of me. So please, reconsider. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing I chased you out.
You cannot seem to make up your mind, can you?
It was a heat of the moment thing. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I don't actually want you to leave. Good lord. Alright, the ointment. Did you apply it like I told you to?
No.
Really? Well, in that case, I'll do it now. You'd need help with your back either way.
You're a very curious man.
Huh? Why do you say that?
No reason. I'm simply saying the first thing that came to mind.
Don't tell me you think I have unscrupulous taste like Maria seems to believe.
Huh?
Let me make this perfectly clear. I will not lay a finger on you. You're just a child, for God's sake. Now sit down. I like the way they moved the sprites in this a lot. Oh, look at that. I thought I'd have to fight her on this.
Is something the matter?
I never told you to undress!
Were you wanting to apply the ointment to my clothes then?
Good point. That wouldn't help very much, would it? God damn it, Jacopo, calm the hell down. Or are you trying to make yourself look like a liar? She just caught me off guard, that's all. The girl quietly disrobed, then knelt down. She had been naked when I saved her from the Lord, so it wasn't like this was my first time seeing her unclothed. But that was in the middle of the revolt. I didn't exactly have the time to get a good look. She was almost frighteningly scrawny, her arms barely bigger than the bones within. Her skin was so pale I could see the blue veins running beneath it. Hey, same girl! And then, of course, there was the crisscrossing web of scars. Each one stood out clearly against her pale skin. The scars covered her whole body, front and back. I could hardly find a patch of skin that hadn't been desecrated. Looking at her, I was gripped with a mix of burning rage and bitter sadness, neither of which I had a source of relief for. But the most upsetting thing was how she just sat there, exposed, completely emotionless. Quite a change from how she behaved last night. Today I'm the one doing all the shouting. Almost feels like I'm looking at a lifeless puppet. I scooped up some of the ointment with my fingers and gently rubbed it across her wounded flesh. Every time my hands made contact, she shuddered, but she never recoiled or objected. Though it felt less like she was willingly accepting my aid, and more like she was simply enduring, waiting for it to be over. It was almost silent in the room, save for the cries and moaning that made its way through the walls. Sitting naked in a brothel while a strange man rubbed medicine on her, I could only imagine how unpleasant that must be, considering how devout she seemed to be. She was probably doing everything in her power to cut herself off from the whole experience. I wondered if, perhaps, she might one day come to realize that we were not trying to insult or demean her, and that we were simply concerned for her, that we wanted to give her a place she could feel safe. So is this all the Lord's doing? You don't have to answer if you're not comfortable.
Except for my arms, yes.
Someone else did your arms then?
No, I cut them myself.
You... I thought suicide was a sin. Is self-mutilation allowed then? I'm not sure what the rules on that are. You have a lot to live for. And that was about the extent of our conversation as I applied the ointment. I couldn't come up with any small talk, and I really didn't want to press any further about her scars or her time with the Lord. So I quietly worked. She quietly let me do my work. By the time it was all over, I was exhausted. It felt like I had taken on more out of me than the couple of hours I had spent dragging unconscious drunks from the pub. When I told her she was finished, she let out a sigh of relief, the first sign of emotion I had seen from her since we began.
Thank you.
Oh wait, we're not quite done. Still have to take care of your face.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
I beg to differ. If anything, you should be most concerned about your face. Now come on, look at me.
Do I have to?
Well, yeah. It'd be kind of silly to do everything but your face.
I can do it myself.
Uh-huh. Sure, yeah, not happening. I'm going to finish what I started.
Why can't I do it myself?
Because my gut tells me you'll just slap a little on and call it done. I want to make sure it's taken care of properly. So look at me. Show me your face.
Fine.
It was bizarre how she had so little hesitation exposing her naked body. It vehemently resisted letting me see her face. With anyone else I knew, it would be the other way around. Sorry, can we just... Why are his hands so nice? Those are some really nice hands. For somebody living in the slums, I can understand why Gratian thought he was a pretty rich boy, because look at his hands. There's like no callousing or anything on them. Moyataro, I see what you did there. The wounds on her face seemed to hold much more significance to her than those on the rest of her body. When she asked me to kill her yesterday, it was immediately after seeing herself in the mirror. But if the marks on her face were that upsetting, wouldn't she want them to heal? So why was she fighting me about it? Did she have some other reason to hide her face from me? Put ointment on my face, Jacopo. I know, right? Whatever it was that drove her actions, I couldn't make any sense of it. Let me know if it stings. Relax. I won't bite. You weren't this tense when I was applying ointment onto the rest of you.
Just get it over with.
Alright, alright. You know, I just realized. I don't know your name. Would you mind telling me? No? You won't tell me? Well, in that case, I'll just have to come up with something to call you myself. I'm serious. I'll pick the first thing that comes to mind. There's still time. You just have to tell me your name. Okay, then. You had your chance. Allison it is, because you bite just like an alley cat. He has really big older sibling energy, actually. Like this part especially, but kind of in general. I'll tell the girls here to call you that too.
Please don't.
Oh, finally, you speak. If you're not happy with the name, tell me what to call you. You have until the count of 3, and then you're Allison for good. 1, 2, 3. Oomph isn't your whole name, is it? Huh, so you're oomph. I can understand being a little embarrassed about that. It's not my place to talk, I know, and I don't mean any ill will, but that's a very, unfortunate name you were given.
That's not my name. It's Morgana.
Now that wasn't so hard, was it? It's a nice name. Morgana. I like it. Also, it reminds me of my homeland.
Your homeland?
Yeah. I mean, I hardly remember anything about my childhood anymore. I couldn't even tell you the name of the country. But I have these vague memories of how the language sounded. And your name, it doesn't sound like a name native to these parts. It sounds like something that would fit right in with memories of my homeland. I'd wager a guess you probably came from the same part of the world as me.
Sydney!
No! No! Okay, just for today. And then tomorrow I'm gonna change it. For those wondering what I'm shouting about, my best friend just changed my name in our group chat to Oomph. If you go back far enough, you might even find we share ancestors. But who knows? How do you like that? Feeling a little sense of kinship?
The thought very much displeases me.
Well, okay then. Be a grouch. I'll let it slide, though. Getting your name out of you put me in a good mood. It's nice to formally make your acquaintance, Morgana. My name's Jacopo. Hey, Morgana. One day, I'll show you the world.
What?
There's so much more out there than this tiny little corner of Earth we're rotting away in. More than you can possibly imagine. I'm going to go out in the world, experience true freedom. I'm going to bring you with me. So try to stay positive. Once you see for yourself how much bigger the world is out there, how different every region and its people are, it might change your perspective on things a bit. It might even help you forget some of the crap you've been through. I really like that the fade-ins and fade-outs have butterflies. That's very cute. Alright, now I'm done. That ended up taking pretty much all the ointment. I'll have to go buy some more. Well, I should probably get going. Will you be alright on your own?
I would much prefer it, in fact.
Alright. Sorry to be such a nuisance. See you again tomorrow.
My whole body is all slimy. After the slave man left, I retreated into a corner of the room, sat down, and pulled my knees up to my chest. Through the walls I could hear men and women sinning, so I plugged my ears in an attempt to block out the vile noise. It was filthy here, and if I remained in this place too long, it would probably taint my soul. I needed to get out as soon as possible, but I couldn't bring myself to leave. My body refused to cooperate. Just thinking about going out there into the slums, all alone, sent uncontrollable shivers down my spine. I was the daughter of God. What did I have to fear? Such worldly emotions were unbefitting of a saint. I was pitiful, pathetic, and I hated it. I have nothing to fear. God will always lead his saint to where he needs her most. And as long as I continue performing miracles, people will acknowledge me as the true daughter of God. I'll have nothing to fear.
You're a damned witch wearing saint skin.
Will they, though? Will anyone look at me and see a saint? I can hardly see a saint in this face. The Lord and his guests with their revulsion, their fear, that was their appropriate reaction. I was repulsive, not something to be welcomed with open arms. Saints and angels were always spoken of as beautiful.
No, they were not. They had multiple eyes.
While demons and witches were spoken of as hideous. Any miracles I performed would be seen as the work of the devil, not God. But it didn't matter. It was my sacred duty to offer a helping hand to anyone in need, no matter how much persecution I suffered for it. My heart was resolute. But my head is all muddled. I can't stand this.
One day, I'll show you the world.
And thinking about the slave man only made a even bigger mess inside my head. It wasn't all unpleasant, though. He didn't push me away because of how I looked. He treated me like an ordinary girl. Not a witch. And not a saint either. And besides, I was being disrespectful. I know that. He was well within his rights to be angry. He could have let me go, but he didn't. He got angry, but he told me to stay. Put ointment on me. Smile, even. A very curious man indeed. And then there was what he had said about his homeland. Just because my name reminded him of where he came from didn't mean I came from there as well. Never mind that nonsense about us sharing ancestors. I had no bloodline to trace back. My mother had conceived me without knowing man. And my father resided in the heavens above, the Lord God. The very idea that we shared blood was absurd. And yet, what if somewhere on this earth there are people who share my blood, who feel what I do, who think what I think, who see the world the same as me? What if somewhere like that really does exist? That would be very, so very...
And time flows ever onward, carrying them 2.5 years forward. There she is. This song. It's fine. An early summer breeze blew past, rustling vivid green leaves. With the pleasantly warm wind at my back, I entered a graveyard. Anyone who wasn't from around here would probably have thought it nothing more than a curious arrangement of stones on an abandoned plot of land, though. No one knew the names of most of those buried here, and they probably died without anyone by their sides. In death, though, they finally found themselves with someone to give them attention, to show them love. Love in the form of a prayer for the repose of their souls. And on this abandoned plot of land knelt its de facto caretaker, a young girl and the only person who paid the dead who lay here any mind. She's too deep in prayer. I guess I'll have to wait. It had been a little under 2.5 years since I had rescued Morgana from the Lord's Manor. Much to my chagrin, she was still far from anything that could be described as opening up, but she wasn't quite as distant as before, from my perspective at least. She had stopped calling the girls at the brothel vile and impure. She was even somewhat conversational. Sometimes. It seemed to me her trauma had loosened its grip on her, if only a little. Of course, she had a tendency to be on the brutally blunt side, which became more obvious as she started talking more. And I felt like the brutal part was getting more prominent every day. Though I supposed it was a good sign. Better than her refusing to interact at all, at least. Probably. She had also, most notably, begun showing signs of independence. Burying and sending off the dead who had no family or loved ones to do it for them was one such activity she had taken on. Living in the slums, it was hardly uncommon to see corpses abandoned in alleyways or on the side of the road. Generally speaking, they would be tossed off into a ditch somewhere out of the way to rot, but over the past couple of years, that had stopped happening, because Morgana had taken it on herself to give them proper burials and a gravestone. Nothing fancy, just a plain slab of rock to mark the grave. But it certainly seemed much more respectable than the alternative. Every day, she came out to the graveyard to pray for the departed. She had always seemed a bit abnormally pious, but there was something almost frightening about her dedication to the task. She was only 9 years old at the time of the slave revolt, which made her 11 now. And rather than play with other children her age, she collected abandoned corpses in the slums and brought them here to bury and pray for. Abnormal didn't even begin to describe it. Some time ago I asked her, "Why don't you go out and play like other children?" To which she calmly responded, "I could not possibly waste my time idly engaging in worldly recreation." I knew that God was the most important figure in her life, but it still seemed excessive. Not even a convent was that draconian. Sorry. I made numerous attempts to warm her up, but they all fell flat. Nothing I said seemed to make it through the heavy wall she had built up around herself. And that was how Morgana acted around me and the girls at the brothel, those closest to her. The rest of the town could hardly get within shouting distance before being shut out. Although it wasn't like they tried either. Most everyone actively distanced themselves from her. On some level, they appreciated her taking care of the bodies that showed up, but ultimately, to them, she was little more than a spider that captured more dangerous insects and begrudgingly left to its own devices. Hardly anyone found her pleasant, and they didn't hide it either. But not just because of her choice in hobbies. The biggest factor was, of course,
May your soul find eternal peace.
the disquieting marks covering her face. You all done?
I didn't realize you were there.
Been here for a little while now. You should really pay more attention to your surroundings. This isn't exactly the safest area.
Why bother? No one is going to do anything to me.
Maybe not now, but a few years down the line, that's a whole nother story. You should get in the habit early. You're a growing girl, and your face could very well be better by then, too. Never mind the fact that there are people out there who will take anything as long as it's got girl parts. What if one of them decides to target you?
Appalling.
Aren't they? Which is why you should be a little more careful.
You are an appalling man.
Why am I appalling?
Because the thought crossed your mind.
I did not. I'm just saying there are people out there who think like that, and you need to look out for yourself.
The fact that you would say that at all is appalling.
I'm just looking out for you.
Oh Lord, may the sinful man be cast down to hell where he belongs.
Jeez. You know no mercy, do you? I feel like you treat these corpses nicer than you do me.
You'd be correct. If you want me to be nice to you, go die.
The girl has got no mercy. Anyway, if you're done praying, get over here. It's ointment time.
How many times must I tell you? You're wasting your time.
Don't be such a pessimist. Rome wasn't built in a day. And there are still other ointments we haven't tried.
I'm not being pessimistic.
Then unless you want to stay looking like that, what do you have to lose? Now come on, off with the hood.
You are a very stubborn man.
Pot. Kettle. Call me whatever you want. Nothing you can say will bother me in the slightest. Narrator. Everything she says bothers Jacopo very much.
I loathe you.
What?
You were saying?
Oh, Morgana. You're kidding, right?
Partially.
Look at her little face. Yes. You little...
I thought you were going to apply the ointment. What are you waiting for?
I sighed and gave her a little glower, then scooped up some ointment with my fingers. Morgana angled her face toward the floor, closed her eyes, and waited for me to begin. There was an element within the gang that gave me flack for all the time I spent looking after and caring for Morgana. Well, it was mostly just Gratian, actually. If I were you, I would have tossed that ungrateful brat out of her ass years ago. Would be another story if she were a looker, of course. And to a degree, I understood where he was coming from. I certainly would have appreciated a little gratitude. On the other hand, all the time I spent with her, even if it was largely being verbally abused, allowed me to notice the more subtle changes in her mannerisms. And seeing that growth, however small, was one of the things that motivated me to keep at it. For example, a year ago, whenever I went to make physical contact with her, I would have to verbally reassure her I had no intention to do her any harm, or she was likely to start shouting. And even if she didn't, she would sit there the whole time I applied the ointment, incredibly stiff. Now she was more relaxed. I could even sense a sort of trust emanating from her within her as my fingers rubbed against her skin. It wasn't my imagination. At least, I didn't think it was. It was something only perceptible through the act of making direct physical contact. That said, she still is borderline inscrutable. As I massaged the ointment into her skin, I traced the outline of her face with the flat of my thumb. The vast majority of her face was discolored, and in places, patches of festered and fallen off. The skin at the corners of her lips was shriveled and curled up, which I could only imagine was fairly painful. It was rough and uneven, hardly a pleasant sensation, and a far cry from the clean, smooth skin most girls her age would have. Maybe she's right. I think it would show some sign of healing by now if it were ever going to. Despite my constant insistence that she stay optimistic, it was probably me who was most disappointed, most frustrated at the complete lack of improvement. The ointment wasn't cheap, to be sure, but I didn't give a damn about the money. It was the sense of hopelessness that got me. It was all for nothing. Back when we first took her in, Maria had suggested the marks on Morgana's face might be a manifestation of something psychological or emotional. And I was beginning to think she was right. That wasn't going to stop me from trying, though. This was the only thing I could think of to do for her. I wonder what she'll look like when she's all healed. Maybe she'll smile for once. I'd like to see that. Someday.
Hello? Is anyone in there?
You need something? Oh, sorry, I got lost in my thoughts. I didn't realize I had stopped.
Lost in your thoughts. That sounds positively dreadful.
What's that supposed to mean? I was just thinking about what?
What?
Never mind. Finishing that's just begging for another round of derision.
That's not why I wanted to get your attention either way. What happened there?
Where?
Your arm. It's cut.
Morgana pointed to a gash peeking out from beneath my sleeve. While it wasn't a very deep wound, it wasn't hardly a mere scratch either. Ouch. Speaking of wounds. Oh yeah, that's,
I decidedly do not know.
It's not important. Don't worry about it.
Use that on yourself.
Huh?
The ointment. Stop wasting it on my face, which is never going to heal, and use it on yourself.
No need to get so worked up about it, Morgana.
I am not worked up. I am simply expressing my discontent at your foolishness.
Which I'm pretty sure is the definition of being worked up.
Regardless, don't use any more ointment on me. Use it on yourself. I'm sure it will appreciate actually being useful for once.
Last I checked, medicine doesn't have feelings. Really, it's not that bad. And besides, I'm only going to get more, so what's the difference?
You're going to get more? And what are you doing that would make you say that?
Yeah, I'm,
Too sinful to admit? You're an abhorrent man.
No, I swear, it's nothing bad. You win, I'll tell you. I was hoping to keep it a secret. I'm, doing a little training.
Training?
Yeah, crime and unrest has been on the rise in the slums. Or, well, not just the slums, the city proper, too. Things were quiet for a while after the slave revolt, but the Lord suddenly imposed a major tax increase about 6 months ago, which has resulted in a significant number of people unable to afford living in the city. To put it simply, the Iron Fist is squeezing even tighter than ever. And as a result, there's been a huge influx of people into the slums. You know how tight things are already, don't you? What do you suppose happens when you have limited resources and space and suddenly twice as many people vying for their share? The plot of Attack on Titan.
People have started trying to stake out their territory, and they're fighting hard to defend it. People are mugging and robbing each other over scraps. It's a mess.
I had no idea.
Not many thieves pick makeshift graveyards as their marks, after all. Now, in this case, I think your being so isolated is probably to your benefit. But in any event, me and the rest of the gang have formed a band of peacekeepers of sorts.
Peacekeepers? Is that not the city guard's job?
The guards have never given a damn about the slums. Why waste manpower on people who can't even pay their taxes? As far as the Lord and his men are concerned, we're just leeching off of his land. We're damn lucky he doesn't make an active effort to chase us all out. That means it's our responsibility to protect ourselves.
I see. So you're training to use a sword as part of this band of peacekeepers?
In short, yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting? In what way?
Give me the ointment.
Huh? I'm not done with your...
What's even left? You've done more than enough. Now give it to me.
Here.
Roll up your sleeve.
You're not going to put it on me, are you? Like I said, I don't need...
How many times have I told you the exact same thing? And how many times have you listened to me? This is payback for all the times you've refused to listen to me. You can't argue with that, can you?
No, I guess I can't.
What are you smirking about?
Nothing.
Try to keep this sort of thing to a minimum if you would.
Huh? Why would I want to limit my training time? I need to be prepared for whatever might come our way. That madman of a lord could be scheming to send all his soldiers in as we speak.
I'm sure there are others more suited for the job. You don't seem like you would be especially adept with a blade.
Hey, don't judge my skill by my appearance. I'll have you know I'm the second strongest member of the gang.
Oh yes, that's very reassuring.
You're on fire today, huh? Since you seem to have forgotten, I put up a damn decent fight against the Lord during the... God, what is wrong with me? Why am I digging up some of our most painful memories for a cheap brag? Anyway, you get the idea. I'm pretty good with a sword, so you don't need to worry about me.
I see. And out of curiosity, who's the strongest member?
Excuse me? Why would she ask me to my face to give her the name of one of man stronger than me?
It's not a difficult question.
Some asshole named Gratien.
Interesting. Well, I hope he remains number 1 and you stay number 2 forever.
That shit cracks me up so much. It's very grade schooler. Like, you have to remember she's 11 here, so she would have been like, what, 5th grade? I feel like 5th grade is about the time most kids start getting like really sassy. Like they understand sarcasm. And she's already is who she is, and then has Jacopo and Maria as company. Like, damn. Oh, jeez. And why exactly would you want that? The whole reason I'm training so hard is so I can surpass Gratien. She wants me to stay below him? Unbelievable. I get it. It's easier for you to look down on me if there's someone who can put me in my place for you.
That isn't why.
No? Won't mind telling me why?
The strongest member of the group is the one who stands on the front lines.
What's your point? The most qualified person heads the charge, yes. I don't see anything wrong with that.
It puts them at greater risk.
Wait, are you concerned for my safety?
It's not you I'm concerned about. Your death will simply make life more difficult for the girls at the brothel.
Oh, would you look at that? You, worried about me. I guess even you have a soft spot or two.
Oh, for heaven's sake. I already told you, that's not why I'm all done.
Thanks.
Now, I assume you're finished with your business here, so feel free to make yourself scarce.
No need to be so rude. Why do you have some ulterior motive for wanting me gone?
For one, it's impossible for the dead to rest in peace with you around.
Maybe try thinking about the living first, for once. I've never really cared for how much importance people put on showing respect for the dead. It all seems so pointless to me.
Your blasphemy knows no ends, does it? When your time comes, you're going to find yourself with no one to grieve over your loss.
Ooh! Ooh! I hate it here. Uh-huh. Fine with me. No, it's not. People are only worth their salt while they're alive.
And what about the afterlife?
Who's got time to think about the next life when you live in an overcrowded slum where someone might kill you one day for a couple coins?
All the more reason to take it into consideration. The consequences one's actions in life have on the next should serve to encourage us to always do what is right.
Not sure I buy that.
I'm done with this conversation. I don't think there's any getting through that thick skull of yours.
If I offended you, I apologize. I didn't mean to. Say, Morgana, would you mind humming that song you're so fond of for me?
What? Where did that come from?
I'm in a good mood today. And what better way to improve a good day than with good music?
I do not follow that line of reasoning one bit. Why should I have to sing to make you feel better?
What's the big deal? It doesn't hurt anyone. If you have even half a heart, you'll do this tiny little favor for me.
Yes, because trying to manipulate me is a wonderful way to make me want to do anything for you.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was mean of me. Please?
That doesn't sound very sincere. But fine, I'll do it.
Facing away from me, Morgana dropped to the grassy ground, staring off into the distance and beginning to hum. It wasn't a hymn or a requiem for the dead, but a folk song all the girls at the brothel would sing sometimes. No one seemed to know who had written it, though. The lyrics were slightly vulgar, and people were supposed to clap and hoot along with the music. But Morgana only hummed the melody, leaving the rest of that out. In isolation, and sung with her voice, it became a thing of beauty. It was pure, untainted by the filthiness of the slums, unobscured by the crudeness of the people who normally sang it. In many ways, it was hard to believe they were the same song. This felt like it was hers, like it solely existed to be heard in her voice. Listening to her sing, I sprawled out on the grass. The blue sky spread out above me as far as the eye could see, and as I gazed up into it, all my problems seemed to fade away. That I lived in a dirty slum, that the Lord was digging his claws even deeper into the city, that I was in the middle of a makeshift graveyard for those who had no one else. It was all just disappeared. I felt almost as though I had ascended to heaven. The first time I heard Morgana sing was, if my memory served, approximately a year earlier. At the time, she was still completely walled off, much like she had been when I first brought her to the slums. She always kept her eyes on her feet. She spoke in a soft voice, frequently pausing. She was wary of everyone, including me. One day, I went to put ointment on her face and she shouted, roared practically, for me not to touch her. To be honest, it was somewhat aggravating. Another, I asked about her father, and she just pointed up at the sky, saying, "He's up there." Which I took to mean he was dead, so I dropped the subject and got back to applying ointment to her. Man, if he had pressed that subject, this game would be very different. At some point, I started humming the song, which I had picked up from the girls. And upon hearing that, she told me she was quite fond of it. And then she began singing. Immediately, I found myself entranced by her voice. Though she always spoke in soft, muffled tones, her singing was incredibly clear, like I was listening to a chorus of angels. Of course, the moment I put that thought into words, it'll lose all its potency. It'll just turn into some loser's cheap pickup line. It really is something, though. If she told me her voice could raise the dead, I would be inclined to believe it. It's just that beautiful. While it was true Morgana could be difficult and wasn't the most affable, I knew that at heart, she was a sensitive and compassionate girl. That she would come to this graveyard every day and pray for peace for all the forgotten souls was more than enough proof of that. Though she surrounded herself with high walls, she was probably the kindest, most loving person I knew. And that was what drew me to her. It didn't matter what anyone said about her, how quick they were to judge her as ugly or standoffish. I knew that they were all wrong. It would be wonderful if I could just spend the rest of my days listening to her sing.
Are you asleep?
I'm awake. I was just resting my eyes.
Oh. And I was about to accuse you of being boorish for having the audacity to ask me to sing and then fall asleep.
The fact that you were almost upset seems to suggest you want to be heard, despite how much you protested it.
No, I simply...
Oh, I've got the perfect idea. We can build a makeshift stage at the pub and have you sing for everyone.
What?
Don't worry, it'll be fine. You can wear a mask if you don't want anyone to see your face. You don't even have to get on stage if you'd rather not. You can just sing from behind a curtain. Who knows? You could end up being in a big hit. Come on, come all. Hear the soothing song of the enigmatic siren.
Absolutely not.
No? I think it's a pretty good idea myself. Oh, is it because you don't like taking other people's money? I wasn't planning on charging. Look at how cute he looks here. I just thought it would be nice if more people could hear.
As I already said, absolutely not. And if you push the issue any further, I'll never sing for you again.
Noted. Forget I said anything. I wish I was able, what she was able to do. Seemed like a good opportunity to get her interacting with more people, but I guess not. Such a pretty voice is wasted on just me.
What? You look like you have something else to say.
Nope, not a thing. Well, I'm not going to force her if she's opposed to it. Say Morgana. There's something I've been wondering for a while now. You've never actually called me by name, have you?
And where did that come from?
I've just been thinking about it, and I can't recall a single time you've done it in the more than 2 years we've known each other.
I forgot.
Don't tell me you forgot my name! Are you kidding me?
I remember it, yes.
I don't like that emphasis on remember.
Is it really that big of a deal? There's rarely ever anyone else around, so it's not like you don't know when I'm talking to you. Besides? I'm planning to leave when I get older, so I don't see much point in getting very attached to anyone.
Well, do you have a destination in mind?
Not yet.
Why are you thinking so far ahead, then? You're 11 years old. You've still got a few years before you're old enough to be independent. And you're going to spend that whole time keeping everyone at arm's length? I just think maybe it's about time you took down some of those walls. And I took a little weight off your shoulders in the process. I'm not going to say you have to, though. Anyway, I should head out. I've got work to do. Try not to stay out here too late, okay?
I'll be leaving as soon as you're gone.
I could walk you back then.
I can make it back fine on my own, thank you.
As you wish. Hey, Morgana.
I thought you were leaving.
One day, I'll show you the world.
Do you ever get tired of saying that?
You've got to think big. Dream. The world's changing all around us. A life just fighting to make it by day to day is hardly a life at all. I don't want to spend the rest of my days confined to this tiny little corner of the world.
Well, try not to let your dreams grow so big they crush you.
Sure, I'll be fine. I just have you sing for me if it ever gets to be overwhelming.
Why would I be there?
Why wouldn't you? It's hard to show you the world if I don't bring you with me. Knowing you still won't know where you want to go. So I'll bring you with me. We can find a place for you together. Pretty good deal, huh?
I don't need to see the world. All I want is...
Huh? What was that?
nothing.
Now I'm even more curious.
It's nothing, really. Now go on, shoo.
Fine, fine. See you later. They care about each other so much.
Doesn't he ever get tired of chasing me down day after day? I thought as I watched him walk off. Quite honestly, I didn't understand that man one bit. Apparently, a lot of people respected him, and he seemed to have a fairly large social circle as well. I couldn't fathom why someone like him would go out of his way to spend time with me. It wasn't for lack of people to talk to, and it certainly wasn't because we got along. Never mind my face, which couldn't be pleasant for anyone to be subjected to for any amount of time. Would he go so far out of simple pity? Hopefully he doesn't have ulterior motives.
At long last, your face is healed. I spent enough money on you to build a house, and you're going to pay me back tenfold. Now go forth, Morgana. Work. Be the greatest whore this brothel has ever seen.
He's probably not that devious. Enough foolish speculation. It's going to start getting dark soon. I should head back.
Her headcanon of him is so funny.
The brothel was always rather quiet at this time of day. The girls worked at night, so they were generally asleep while the sun was out. And it was my job to take care of cleaning, laundry, and preparing meals while they rested. When I first arrived here, everything seemed so filthy. And while I still felt that way to a degree, nights, when they were open for business, were still miserable. I wasn't quite so prejudiced against the girls themselves anymore. They were kind to me, treated me like a sister, or tried to at least. I kept them at distance, though. I didn't so overtly spurn them as I had before, but as the holy daughter of God, I could not form familial relationships with prostitutes. I could not delight in being pampered by them. My unwillingness to open up probably disheartened them, but still they did not throw me out or lash back at me for it. And no one made any remarks about my face. As prostitutes, they frequently caught all sorts of diseases. In my more than 2 years here, several had even passed away. One had gotten hives all over her body, transforming from fairly pretty to absolutely hideous in only a few days' time. And they had seen considerably more than me, so they had no reason to comment on a girl with a little flesh missing from her face. Which wasn't to say everyone was sympathetic for me. I should get a fire started. I had taken care of most of the cleaning before leaving the cemetery, so my next task was preparing food for the day. Supplies had been scant of late, which meant today I was making yet another watery vegetable soup. All right, he mentioned crime was on the rise. That would explain the trouble getting supplies. And here I am completely oblivious to what's going on outside. From time to time, I would catch one of the girls saying, often with an uncomfortable laugh, "She's still the same old Morgana." But personally, I felt as though I had changed quite a bit since arriving here. No longer being intrinsically disgusted by prostitutes was big enough, but even more significantly, how pathetic. I had become astutely aware of how much I was on the receiving end of others' generosity. Before coming here, the thought would have never even occurred to me. I was always the giver of generosity. The saint everyone, man, woman, and child alike, came to for help. I hadn't told anyone what I was, though, so I didn't get any of that special treatment. And perhaps that was part of what had allowed me to change. Of course, because I kept all that tightly locked up inside, the only thing people saw was an aloof little girl. Finally, the coal is lit. Now to add tinder.
Knock, knock!
What?
Knock, knock, knock!
What? Who's that? And who shouts knock, knock instead of knocking? Everyone else is asleep, so I can't just hope for someone else to deal with it. But someone's going to wake up eventually if she keeps yelling. But everyone's exhausted and they need their rest.
Knock, knock, knock!
Oh, for heaven's sake, quiet down out there!
Alright, it's time.
Finally, someone! Ah!
What? What are you screaming for?
Are you okay?
Huh? Why wouldn't I be?
Look at her design, though. I love her.
I'm rather more concerned about you myself.
Your face! Look at your face!
Right, my face. It's just...
I heard they treated the girls good here! You can't be, what, maybe 10 years old? Now look at you!
Huh?
Unbelievable! What kind of terrible man would a little girl like you and give you all his nasty diseases?
Does she think I'm a prostitute? Hold on, please. You're jumping to conclusions.
Don't you worry, I've got a friend in you've got a friend in me.
No, that's not what...
There's still hope. Tomorrow will be a better day.
I'm not...
Is it not because of a disease then?
Yes, thank you. Finally. No one gave me any disease.
You're being tortured!
What?
Now that I get a closer look at you, your hands are all torn up too. Did they really bust out the whip that often here?
No one would...
God, I can't believe my eyes! Who would do this to such a little girl?
Excuse me?
I'll have to give the man in charge a stern talking to. It's his job to protect his girls.
Excuse me.
Knock, knock, knock! Shut up and listen to me! Ouch!
I didn't mean to do that. Oh, Father, I pray for your forgiveness, for I have disobeyed your teachings and raised my hand against my fellow man.
Nothing for me, the one who actually got kicked?
Before you do anything, you could perhaps introduce yourself?
That's what I get for jumping to conclusions. I always had this super bad habit of letting my imagination run wild, you see. As soon as I saw you, it was like dark, dank dungeons, a little girl hung upside down, butt naked, a big, smirky, shirtless man holding a cat o' nine tails. The girl's screams echoing on the cold stone. Will she live to see another day? That sort of thing. Keeps going too. Next, a dashing young man appears to rescue the girl, but he secretly... Shut your mouth for me, would you? Aye, aye. You're allowed to breathe. Okay, so, what was your name? Saren! Spelled C-E-R-E-N.
Just, oh, that's J, that's right. Jester, Jaren, that's right. Okay.
That's J, like Jester, and Ran like Ransom. Shut your mouth for me, would you? Aye. But you are allowed to breathe. Aye. God, it's way too early for this shit. What is it, like noon? 1? Should I have not let her in? Oh, nah, you're fine. I've known we were getting a new girl for a few days now. I wasn't expecting this. You don't have to keep your mouth shut permanently. If you have something to say, spit it out. So this is the part where I get fired before I even start? Tell me something, would you? Do you act that way? Do you act that around your clients? What? Is there something wrong with how I act? Moving on. Stand right there for me. And for the love of all that is holy, hold still. Yes'm! So what you gonna do? Just hush and hold still. Huh?
Her little outfit is so cute.
You're staring holes through me. Just a little more. You're getting real up close and personal there. Need to make sure you're up to par. Par with what? Is this necessary? Hello? Alright, at ease. You pass. You're hired. Really? Sweet. So what was all that about? You gotta have an exam first, obviously. I see! I'll tell you this, though. If you weren't cute as hell, I'd have thrown you right out on your ass. Am I really that cute? You're making me blush. You realize that wasn't a compliment, right? Anyway, you start work tomorrow. Today, familiarize yourself with the rules and the layout of the place. Aye, aye, ma'am. Morgana, can I ask you to show her around? What? Alright. Thanks a bunch. Much obliged. I'm already beginning to regret this. Talk about culture shock, though. I've never seen a place with a woman manager. Oh yeah, I'm not the manager. Just an old hat. So where's the big boss hiding, then? No boss here, just us girls. What? You don't have a manager? Really? Nope. You'll find this is more like a community than anything. A bunch of girls with nowhere else to go who banded together and built the place up. And it's been going like that for more than a decade now. From what I've been told, it started as just a little shack. Didn't even have a proper flooring. But by the time I showed up, the facilities were a little nicer. The roof still leaked like a bitch, though. We didn't have nearly as many rooms set up as we do now. Well, we worked our tails off over the years, scrounging together the money and the time to patch it up and grow it into what you see now. Huh, neato. Of course, not having someone specifically in charge of running the place does come with its own set of challenges. Does it? Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Everyone gets to do their own thing. It's not that simple, unfortunately. Makes it more difficult to iron things out with the community and other businesses when trouble arises. And of course, it means how we have no one financing us. So every day's a struggle to make it to the next. Last, it could all come crashing down. Toss out any illusions of job security. Not so neato. I'm still super duper impressed, though. Major props.
Sorry, I need water. Oh, I'm almost done. Almost to a stopping point, but...
You guys have made this one heck of a place for the slums. Yeah, I suppose. I'll take that, I guess. You don't sound very happy about it. Well, I mean, pretty much everyone who founded this place is dead now. It's one of the risks of the job. You work your ass off just to add another day and end up taking 3 off in the process. So once you got enough to do whatever it is you need to do, well, you walk out that door and never come back. Got it? Whether you got debt to pay off or friends or family who need a little extra money, once you're done, be done. You're not gonna ask what I need the money for? If a girl looks like trouble, I'll talk to her and have some guys look into it. But you don't strike me as the type. If you're up to no good, I feel like it'd be pretty obvious. Besides, I've been in this business long enough to know it's not the top of most girls' dream job lists. Most of us have been through some nasty shit. We don't come here to have other people digging around through it.
Boss!
Huh? Boss? What?
You're sweet, thoughtful, and heck a boss, so I'm gonna call you boss. It's perfect.
I thought I told you we don't have a boss here. Boss? Well, no harm in you taking a liking to me, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna go crash again. Morgana can answer any questions you've got. Aye aye. Also, any more hollering while I'm trying to sleep, and I'll rip that pretty little head off your shoulders and shove it between your legs. Got it? Yes, boss! Okay, this is a good stopping point. Ms. Jaren. That's right, because I think that's a Turkish name. Let's look it up as our last thing. She's great. Jaren is great. I forgot how the melody went there for a second. My bad. Yep, it's Turkish. It means young gazelle. Ah, yes, that's accurate. So yeah, it would be Jaren. Look at her little design. Look at her. She's so cute. Anyway, this is a good spot. Next week, we will get to know Miss Jaren more. And Gratien. I'm sure something harrowing will happen. In fact, I'm almost positive. But something fun should happen too, I think. There's some happy moments in Requiem. There really are. So, Friday, feel free to join for Grandia 2. Otherwise, I'll see you next Monday. Take care. And if you're wondering what the song is called, it's called Dancing, a Stamp, and Cheers. It's so catchy. It was one of my most listened to songs in 2020, I believe. It's super good. Anyway, see you guys. Bye.